defend King 7 off against Martin's Adina, and flop comes 8-8-4 Rainbow. I check, he bet 7,000. I check raise to 21,000, repping the 8, possibly a 4. I do have a 7, so I can turn a pair with a 7. I can turn a king if called, or turn a straight draw and continue to barrel. But the turn is a 4, so we're going to want to rep a boat. So we down bet to 20,000 on the turn. Unfortunately, he does call, and I think the jig is up. So the queen hits the river. I give up, and he checks behind, and he does have ace queen. So good thing I didn't barrel the river. He probably would have called that too. He's a very sticky player. I probably shouldn't have tried to bluff him, but he's also been probably more active than me, so his range is wide. Blinds at 3-6,000. I open ace-8 of diamonds in the middle position. David Paredes, who is cheating, if you will, on his cell phone. He has charts open, like opening charts, not shove charts, like opening range charts by position, and he looks at them when he gets his cards. So I'm about to call him out on this after this hand, because I just noticed it. He calls, button calls, and Martin's calls in the small blind. We're 4 ways to a flop. Flop comes 9-4 deuce, 1 diamond. Pretty dry flop. They're going to have a lot of, it's real small pairs, a lot of suited connectors, stuff like that. Definitely could check here a lot of the time, but this time I want to rep an overpair. So I bet 30,000. Can also turn a diamond, turn an ace if called. And it looks very strong betting into 3 people on this dry rainbow board. David Paredes calls, and the other 2 guys fold. So I'm putting him on a lot of suited 9Xs, 9-8, 9-7, 9-10, 9-jack, maybe a few small pairs, and a few sets. He could have deuces or 4s, probably not 9s. I think he's 3-bets 9s with some frequency. So when a deuce comes on the turn, it eliminates a lot of combos of pocket deuces, putting it down to 1, and it limits his outs if he does have top pair. So if we were to bet again, we're really repping an overpair. So I bet 65,000 with ace-8. He calls, and I'm done with the hand. He must have pocket 4s or pocket 9s. The river is a queen or something, and I check fold to his 100,000 river jam. So that cost me cool 110,000 there. He stopped using the chart directly after that, and if I called him out on it, it would have seemed like I was just being real spiteful. And oddly enough, I called him out on texting on his phone a few years ago in the Win main event after a long summer, and he got so mad. But I mean, you can't just be texting when you have a hand. You could be, telling somebody else at the table what you have or what to do. That's a pretty standard rule, and he thought it was like the end of the world that I called him out on it. So he got real mad. I'm sure he remembers that. So not a fan of David Paredes if you want to Google him. He always likes to wear thin hoodies with no sleeves.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't matter now. The second card did not correlate as well as it did.
And we bag up 213,000.
I've got it. Yeah, you want to add the cash? Yeah.
Going to 4,000, 8,000. Oh, that feels great right there. Yeah, the sciatica nerve, is that it? Oh, yeah, that's good. With 215 players remaining, maybe less, 180 pay, min cash is $25,000 and some change. It looks so crazy. Microphones and cameras.
Two players remaining, right second box. Two players remaining. We have no ball or flop. We have Caesar, is our average player, has ace, king or diamond. Jack, there's no diamonds, but there is a jack and queen. 7 queens jack. The turn is a 6. Bank has a queen. We have lost player. 182 players remaining.
We have been hand for hand for 60 minutes. We're on the stone bubble. Min cash is $25,000 and change. Cutoff opens, button shoves. Cutoff has button covered. Cutoff folds and button shows. Yes.
You can pick one.
Oh, this is gonna be a 3.
So 3 box 7s, JC, as big as and JC shows JC, ace, fours, and 3 hearts. So once again, JC, you have all the player, and JC, Ryan has 2 box 7s. Let's do the four, please. For the jack, ace. JC has tricks, and the turn is, the turn is 8, and how many goes? And that's 4. 2 remaining still. We're going to continue hand by hand.
T'as même pas internet pour 500 balles par nuit, quoi.
C'est un truc marrant, apparemment l'hôtel des backpackers.
C'est quoi?
Il y a un hôtel de backpacking.
Ici?
Ouais, elle est à 130 € la nuit.
75 minutes into the stone cold bubble, there are 4 stacks on my table that are shorter than me.
Jacks. So Kane is ahead with 2 black jacks. And let's see the flop, please. Flop is 10, jack, 3. The turn is a 6 of hearts. Mitchell shows king, queen, or 2 pair. And Andre shows here. Andre shows 7, 7, or 4 sevens. We are still 182 remaining players. Dealers.
Blinds at 5,000, 10,000, 182 players remain, 181 get paid. Minimum of just over $25,000. Action folds to Bulgarian Reg with a huge stack. In the cutoff, he opens to 22,000. I'm on the button with pocket aces. I love pocket aces, but I don't love them so much on the stone bubble, especially when there's 4 people with shorter stacks at my table alone. I have 164,000 chips. What do you guys do? Call? See a safe flop? Fold? No one needs to know. Or we can shove all in on the stone bubble. Risk $25,000, hoping to be an 82% favorite if called. Sometimes you just gotta man up and put it all on the line. I shove all in and he goes deep into the tank. My heart is beating, probably at about 130 beats per minute. And he puts in the fold. And we now have 200,000 chips. Now on first break, over an hour of hand for hand, a few stacks at my table of 3 and 4 blinds. Blinds are going up to 6,000, 12,000, 12,000, and I'm in the big blind now. Let's cash, find our way to the final table.
have 612 and 012. Divas, 1 hand please. Okay, we're on table 22, 2 players remaining. We have Paul and Wham. Paul is our at-risk player, and Paul shows 2 black kings. Wham, can we see your cards, please? And Wham shows 2 black aces. Let's see the flop, please. Officers 3, 7, 10. And the turn card, please. The turn is a 5. And the final card, please. And the final card is a 6. Players, congratulations. You've all cashed from the biggest 25k in mystery poker.
A little, just a little.
I remember you. I remember you.
6. I had the best hands ever. No.
With blinds at 6,000, 12,000, 12,000, we're now in the money. The board says 169 players remain. The next page jumps at 151. That would put us at a $35,000 guarantee. I look down at pocket fives. Pretty thin, but I think the correct play is to jam, considering only the guy on my left has me covered. The guy on his left has slightly less chips than me, and the other players all have around 5 to 8 blinds. So even if called, our tournament won't really be at jeopardy, but this is a good time to just pick up an easy 30K, or possibly double up if get called by ace queen or ace king. So I shove, guy on my left folds, guy from the Netherlands goes deep in the tank. He uses a time bank chip. He's got a tough decision. He's not milking the clock, and he puts in the call. He shows ace jack offsuit. We're heads up. Let's hold for over a 400K pot. The flop comes 9, 7, 6. The turn is a jack, and the river is an ace. And we're now left with 30,000 chips. Gotta win those flips, huh?
161 cents. Yep.
Not this time.
He plays 2 in.
9. Okay. Yeah, that's a flush. Oh, boat. Boat. No boat.
2 seats open. Table 7.
No, you want me to hold this stuff? Just hold this stuff. I went 1 popcorn kernel and 1 chip.
Get another popcorn too, and let me give you some cash.
Y'all want anything?
I think we're good.
You're good? I don't want your money.
This is my crew. What's up? This is Justin.
Comedy Club pre-show with none other than a very dark Kevman.
Yes, very dark. It's yeah, I've been out in the sun too long.
Very tan.
Very tan, yes.
He was told there'd be Mai Tais.
That's what I heard.
Definitely.